Welcome back, friends and fans. This is Eric KJ4YZI with HamRadioConcepts. Before you go any farther, click this button over here that says subscribe. Make sure you turn on notifications. When videos like this hit my channel on the web, you can see them immediately and not be left out. It's 1:10 in the morning. It's 40 degrees in Florida. I'm jacked up on iced coffee. It's time to make a video. I just got something in the mail a couple days ago, and my Facebook followers want to know what is in the box. I've teased it a little bit. I got something in the mail. They want to know what it is. I'm excited. The wife found out I bought it like 2 weeks before Christmas. Who cares? It just came out. Everybody needs to know about it. You've seen it here first. What is it? We're talking about digital modes. We're talking about hotspots. We're talking about a hotspot that's going to replace your hotspot that you have on your desk now that does everything you need. DMR, System Fusion, P25, and DSTAR, one box. All you need is Wi-Fi and power to run it. What is it? Introducing from Micronode International, the NanoSpot. The NanoSpot in this little box contains DMR, DSTAR, C4FM, and P25. All you need is Wi-Fi and power. No dingle dangles, connected Ethernet to your open spot, then tethered to your phone to get this thing to run. Set it and forget it. One-click updates, running on the Pi-Star network. This thing is awesome. If you're using multiple digital modes and you're tired of messing with SD cards and you're tired of using this image, but this guy's using this image, and why doesn't this work on mine? Or why can't I have Wi-Fi on this? When are they coming out with a Wi-Fi version? Forget it. This NanoSpot from Micronode International should be the game changer, and we're going to show you all about it. So you want to make sure you stay in tune with this video. Watch everything about this video. I'll take you through it, show you what it looks like, what it does, how easy it is to set up, and how it sounds. The audio is great. It's got everything I want in it. Let's take a look at the NanoSpot from Micronode International. So you want to know more about the NanoSpot, okay? A ruggedized aluminum case with everything built in. 2 antennas, one for the RF transmitter, one for the Wi-Fi. Okay, everything on the case here it's cool. It's printed on the case, so you can see exactly what each LED and connection is. Okay, it does come with the USB cable for the console for connecting and configuring the unit for first-time use. It also comes with a USB power cord. Okay. Which does have, I guess, a 12-volt step-up in it, because USB is 5 volts. So and it does come with a AC wall wart as well, or AC adapter with this. So what I like about this, being that it's a USB power cable, is I can use it with something like this, a solar battery bank, while mobile. So I can plug the power cord into the USB port here, and plug it into the NanoSpot and use it mobile. Again, all you need is Wi-Fi and power to use this thing once you set it up. So it comes with those. Now, looking at the unit close up, all right, on the left side, your transmit and receive indicator lights, the USB console port there, and 4 LEDs, and the LEDs are printed on here. That's your mode. So the OLED will show you, indicating which light is blinking or solid as opposed to which mode you're on. On the right side here, your power adapter and a USB accessory port for optional next-gen display. And so you have an optional display on here, and I think in the future they're going to have GPS capability through that port, if I'm not mistaken, for APRS and DPRS and stuff like that. So that may be in the future with firmware update. Very, really not much heavier than an open spot, or definitely less bulky than a Raspberry Pi DV Mega Combo. All right, fully assembled and tested from them, and firmware updates are as often as your cup of coffee. So if something changes or something gets improved, they can push an update, and it's a one-click process. A quad-core A7 1.2 gigahertz processor inside, 512 megs of RAM, 8 gigabytes of flash memory in here. So, with that being said, I'm going to show you first in this video, real quick, the ease of setting this thing up to connect it to Wi-Fi the first time and to get your information plugged in. Now, the manual on the website that is written for this is very clear. I say that with emphasis. If you follow the manual, you can't screw up. I mean, it's really simple to set this thing up. For those who are Linux experts and code experts, you have access to the root level of the operating system through the console port, should you want to do that. Open source compatible. There is ways, if you know what you're doing, to get into this thing and really tweak or build on or do whatever you want to do with it. So definitely not a branded product that keeps you from knowing what makes this thing tick. All right. And I talked to Mark at NanoSpot. I had a couple questions, and he offered great support. So you're not left in the dark with this thing. You're not submitting a web ticket and waiting 4 days for a response, or having one image on yours different from the support group you follow online. I mean, this thing is, you're supported by it. So that's a really cool thing. So let's take a look at the configuration of this thing first, and then we'll fire it up and we'll try different modes and see exactly how it works and how it switches between one mode and the other. So let's get to it. Now, setup on this thing is really simple. In fact, it can't be any simpler, I don't think. In my days of playing with a DV Mega, man, that thing was just a disaster. I hated trying to get images on there and configuring it. This is pretty simple, and I'm going to walk you through it. The manual is clearly written on how to do this, but a lot of people use my videos as reference as how to get on. So I'm going to show you how simple it is. The first thing we need to do is we need to connect this NanoSpot to Wi-Fi, and you just have to use a couple commands through a terminal to do that. What is a terminal? A terminal is like a command prompt that you're going to use that connects over USB to serial to the device. And you can use any terminal software that you're familiar with. I am using PuTTY because it's pretty simple. I hardly use a terminal for anything. But if I'm not a Linux guy and I can do this, then you can do it too. So if you want to look in the manual, pretty simple. So in the description below of this video, it shows you a download link for PuTTY if you want to download that for your operating system. I'm on Windows 10. So if you have PuTTY installed, next thing you're going to want to do is go to your device manager. And your device manager in ports will show you what ports are connected right now. I don't have the device connected. So when I plug it in, it's going to add a COM port, and I'll be able to tell which COM port that is. It added COM port 3. So I know it's COM port 3. I don't need this anymore. I can close it. At the same time, I'm going to plug in the power of this unit and give it about 30 seconds to power on, and we're going to access it through PuTTY. Now, after it's been plugged in, you can open PuTTY. And what COM port was I on? COM port 3, that's right. So click serial for a USB to serial connection. COM 3, and the speed is 115200. It's all in the manual, guys. After that, I didn't touch anything else here. I'm just going to click open, and it brings open my terminal window. And I'm just going to click enter, and now it's waiting for a login. So the login, by default, is pi-star. And the password is Raspberry. Okay? Once you click that, type it in, boom, you're in the Pi-Star. Now this is by default, a read-only device, which means the files are not being written and read and written. So you have to force it to be a read-write system. So right here it tells you, enable read-write with rpi-rw. So I'm going to type that in, rpi-rw. Now it's read-write. And then I'm going to type one more command that's going to bring me into the Wi-Fi configuration file so that I can edit the file. And that is with a sudo command, sudo space nano space what you see here, which is also in the manual. And just type it exactly like it says in the manual, and you should have no problem whatsoever. Again, I'm not a Linux guy, but if I can do this, you can do it. Now you're in the Wi-Fi configuration file, and you use the arrows on your keyboard. Just to go down here, you're going to see SSID, which is the name of your Wi-Fi. Mine is named garbage, so I typed it in. You have to type it exactly how your Wi-Fi is labeled. If you have a Comcast router and it's got a ton of letters and numbers, capitals matter, type it in exactly how it is. And the password, which says PSK, you want to type in the password. Mine is POS Wi-Fi 123. So after that, I didn't touch anything else. Priority 100. You're going to hold Control O, and it says right here, you're going to rewrite to that file to save it. Click Enter, and then click Control X, and you exit. And the last command you need is sudo reboot. and it's going to reboot the device, and it's going to load the Wi-Fi settings in automatically. It should automatically connect to your Wi-Fi, and when this is done, it takes about 30 seconds to a minute. You don't need to know what it's saying, but when it's done and it's waiting for a command, you can close this page out, and we'll go to the next part, which is the web browser configuration. A quick look at the Pi-Star Digital Voice configuration web page here. The link is in the manual, so this takes you right to the configuration of the unit. No SD card images, no INI files to edit. It's very simple. You're looking at this, it's got a bunch of features in here. Dashboard, I'll show you in a minute. Power, reboot, reset, turn off. Administrator options, there's expert options if you choose to need that. Update, one click. You click the update button, it's going to load all the new files, whatever's updated on the Pi-Star platform is going to update automatically. Backup and restore. So when you get this configured the way you want it, you want to make a backup. Recommended. Because when you go changing stuff and you forget what you did and you screwed it up, you can simply restore from the backup and you're back in business. Factory reset if you decide to wipe it out and start over. Now, each one of these bars here has different settings, and when you make a change in one of these, you want to apply changes. If you modify all this and hit apply changes one time, it's only going to save wherever you hit apply changes. So you start, you choose the mode you want. So if I wanted DSTAR and Yaesu Fusion only, I could turn those on and set the hang time appropriately. So this unit, if you turn all of them on, okay, it's going to be in scan. LEDs are going to be spinning around. And then once somebody transmits on Fusion, it's going to switch to that mode automatically. Now with the hang time, if you set a hang time for 10 seconds, it's going to stay on Fusion for 10 seconds, and if it's idle, it's going to go back to scan and pick up on the next mode. So what you want to make sure is you have enough hang time so that if you're talking to somebody on DMR and they let go of transmit, that it doesn't automatically jump to DSTAR instantly, because then you're going to lose the conversation you had on DMR. So you can operate all the 4 modes without having to go in and switch the thing. You just want to make sure you set it up appropriately. Apply changes. Enter your info in the general config here, your DMR ID. Make sure that your radio frequency is not on a repeater input. It needs to be appropriate simplex frequency for a hotspot. This is just for plugging information in. And your other information here. DMR configuration, you pick the master server closest to you, color code, apply changes, and you go to DSTAR, set the gateway you want, reflector, the mode, all that stuff here. The Yaesu Fusion and the P25 are pretty simple. Set up your the link for the host and your APRS host here or whatever you want, and P25. Firewall, you want to make sure it's set to private, so that nobody can access your node from another location with your IP address. And it gives you your stats down here for your wireless. Now, up here, when you go to dashboard, this will show you everything that's happening right now. Now, right now, someone's talking on TAC 310, but you can see here a minute ago there was a couple words spoken on DSTAR, and before that, I was listening to a bunch of TAC 310 over here, and it shows you your bit rate, your error loss, and all that. Down here, local RF, as you transmit into it, it will show you what mode you're on, where you're talking to, talk group or reflector, and your bit error rate, so you can adjust accordingly. And it shows you everything you need here so that you can see what link you're on, which modes are active by highlighted green and such. So make sure you make a backup when you get it all configured, and the manual covers this very clearly on how to set this up. It really is simple. There is no SD cards to do. There is no, I need to log into it with my VNC in order to set it to Fusion mode because I'm done on DSTAR. It's all automatic, man. Can't be any easier than that. Let's try DSTAR here. I got a ID 51A 50th anniversary ICOM DSTAR here that I borrowed from a friend. KJ4YZI testing.
KJ4YZI, KF5 TDF, sounding good. No problems.
Very good. Name is Eric. Call us KJ4YZI. Just playing around with DSTAR again. Trying a new hotspot, NanoSpot, and you're my first contact through it on DSTAR. So easy to set up, and it is working. So thanks for coming back to me. Down here in Florida, over.
Okay, roger on that. Apologies to you in advance. I'm in a little traffic here, and I missed the handle, but I'll catch it on the next go around. You're the second. Both times it sounded excellent. Is that the trade name, brand name? And do you mind asking where a little more about it? KF5 PDF Russ, Romeo Uniform Sierra Sierra, mobile here in Big Spring, Texas. Over.
Very good, Russ. Well, I picked this up. It's called the Nano-Spot. It is from Micronode International. It's a hotspot that does DMR, DSTAR, C4FM, and P25 with Wi-Fi all in the box, running on Pi-Star. And I'm actually making a YouTube video about it. So as soon as I get all this footage recorded, I will be showing it because it's brand new. I just picked it up. I think when I saw it, it was about 4 days old. Over.
Roger. Well, it's audio is good and clean. No R2D2ing. Nothing negative can be said about it. So that's. I had recently placed the order for, I guess, what it is, the Zoom spot, and waiting on that to come in. But we're accessing through a local repeater here tonight. Over.
Yeah, very good. Well, I haven't played DSTAR in a while, but I'm getting back into it shortly. I'm going to pick up another ICOM handheld and play around with some more DSTAR now that I'll have, something to take with me again. I've had OpenSpot and I've had DV Mega. This one's by far the easiest for me to set up. And so, I'll be on DSTAR again soon, but I had to borrow this radio from somebody. So back to you, and then I won't hold you in the traffic, but thank you for the test. KJ4YZI, and the handle is Eric, by the way. Echo Romeo India Charlie in Vero Beach, Florida, currently 61 degrees. It was 39 last night, and that's that's cold for me in Florida. Go ahead.
Yeah, roger that. Well, we got 45 here in West Texas, so Eric, fine business. I just picked up the Kenwood THB74 there, and I haven't quite got it on the DSTAR side of things configured on it yet. I've got all the analog stuff programmed, but we're in the process of getting back to that chore here shortly. Okay, Eric, fine business. Appreciate the short QSO, and we will let you go as I'm in the traffic, and I'm almost where I need to be. So 73 is from KF5 PDF.
All right, Russ, thanks a lot. Enjoy it in Texas, and we'll do it again. KF5 PDF from KJ4YZI 73, my friend. Now, after DSTAR, just like that, if I have DMR set up, got a GD77 Radiodity dual band handheld, I just pushed the button. Now I'm going in on talk group 31123 on DMR. KJ4YZI, anybody around? So, right there, I'm on DMR now. Didn't have to mess with anything. Not sure if anybody's on this talk group tonight. Might have to try TAC 310. The talk group that is local to me is 31123.
Club meeting. We're at the EOC, K4CPJ.
Now look who it is, the digital guru himself. Hey Craig, KJ4YZ, I'm just testing out a NanoSpot hotspot on video, so hope you don't mind. I couldn't make the meeting, but thank you for being there, because didn't know if anybody was out on the talk group tonight. KJ4YZI.
Yeah, I'm just in the meeting. I'll call you over K4CPJ.
Okay, so he's busy in the meeting, but that's DMR. Then we go right into Fusion. Got the FT2DR here. And try Fusion. KJ4YZI listening? Now there is a way to change the rooms through here.
KJ4YZI, go ahead, KF4TIM.
KF4TIM. KF4TIM, KJ4YZI. Just testing the hotspot here. Wanted to make sure it's working on Fusion down here in Florida. Name is Eric. Echo Romeo India Charlie. Over. So far, all three modes perfect.
Tango India Mike to Phoenix, Arizona. You having no problem to make a mission.
He's laughing at somebody. All right, very good, my friend. Enjoy the weather in Arizona. Currently 61 here in Florida, and no rain in sight. Had plenty of it already, though. KJ4YZI, back to you for a final. KF4TIM. All right. Well, so far, all three. We had Fusion, DMR, DSTAR, all three out of the same hotspot, all three working. I don't have P25 at this time. So where do you get it? Well, check out, I try to leave the link in the description. You always got to check the description down below. But taking you to the site and checking out, let me show you a couple things real quick. micro-node.com. Now here's the NanoSpot, and this is what I purchased here. And at the time of this video, what you're watching right now says special limited time pricing of $269, free shipping, priority mail. Now, I've done a couple videos in the past on a couple different units I got from eBay, and by the time you watched the video, or by the time someone hesitated, they said, Eric, the price went up since your video, what you showed. That happens. So if you're interested in buying a hotspot before you pull the trigger, think about if you have to buy a hotspot and a bunch of other stuff to get it to go Wi-Fi in your vehicle, it might end up being about the price of this. And then you got to program it. Then you got to do all this. So a really good value here while it's a good value, okay? But check this out. Now, I'm interested in some of this stuff. Now, All-Star IRLP Echo Link, you know, there's still love for this. Now, we're talking about digital modes here, but believe it or not, I want you to grab your seat for a second and hold on. There are people that will never use digital modes. They don't like it. They don't want it. They got their FM handheld or UHF, VHF handheld, and they like Echo Link or IRLP. That's fine. You can do that. You're allowed to. It's your hobby. It's our hobby. We're in it together. So it looks like Micronode International makes other hotspots here. Nano DV digital radio hotspot with a touchscreen that does digital, modes. IRLP All-Star Thin Client. I mean, I'm hoping to check one of these out here in the future. This is pretty cool. So you can click on these and read more about them. But products, manuals, support, online store. Here's the email. I talked to Mark when I emailed here. I had a couple questions about Pi-Star. And when I emailed Mark, there couldn't have been a nicer person that really got back to me and answered questions. So I can recommend that it is good customer service. There's a person on the other end of this, and they know about what they're selling. So if you have a question, they're more than happy to help you. So that's a big thing when people say, oh, well, is it good customer service? Yes. They get back to you. So, I mean, if you got a site and you're selling stuff like this, oh, there's people calling me on the hotspot right now. So that's about wraps it up for the new NanoSpot. Now, I hope you learned something from this video. A lot of people reference my videos on setup when they get their new project rather than just seeing what it is and diving into it when you get it. So although the manual does state very clearly how to set this up, some people can come back and watch the video and just follow along how I set it up so that you're comfortable and you get this thing working as fast as possible. Nobody likes getting a new device and having to study a manual for weeks on end to figure out how to use it, right? So with this video and the manual and the product that you get, hopefully you learned something here. If you did, click thumbs up, leave a comment below. I already assumed you subscribed at the beginning of the video, so that's already assumed. So leave a comment below and tell me what you think. I learn from comments all the time. I try to respond to every one of them, or not every one of them, excuse me. There's a lot of them coming in. I think the other day I had 217 comments in a day. I can't go through all those videos and comment every single one of them. You can follow me on Facebook.com/HamRadioConcepts. A little bit more of an interaction there if I can get you on Facebook. If you happen to talk to me one day, you know, I have the RFinder M1 DMR smartphone. So with this all day as I'm talking on the phone or traveling during work, I have DMR right here on my cell phone. So if you're talking to me on a digital mode, chances are you're talking to me through the Nano-Spot, because this is all I got now. I did get rid of I sold my OpenSpot and my DV Mega to fund other projects, and of course that didn't last long because here it is. So, hey, for the better of good, sold two, bought this one, and, you know, I'm happy with it. So I hope you enjoy the pleasure of a Micronode International. And as always, thank you for watching, and 7-3 from KJ4YZI.